Wave 6 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass is here, and every track is incredible. Seriously, not a single track is bad in this 8-track package. However, I do believe that some are better than others, so today I'll be ranking all 8 tracks in Wave 6. I will rank these tracks based on 3 criteria: enjoyability, theming, and music. Each criteria will get a ranking out of 10 based on how it fits the score. At the end, I will add all 3 scores together to get an average score out of 30, which I will display next to the course name. Each course will also be ranked on a tier from F to S based on their final score. By the way, I will not be mentioning the new jukebox mode or the 18 new Mii costumes, which, while aren't neat, aren't courses, so they won't be counted. I won't be mentioning the characters either, even though Funky Kong is absolute peak. Also, this is the first video I'm doing it in this style, so if you enjoy, please click like and subscribe button, and I'll create more content like this. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the ranking with the B tier tracks. That's right, the track selection is so good that we start at the B tiers. Anyway, let's begin. 8. Wii Daisy Circuit. Wii Daisy Circuit is the worst track in Wave 6, however, it is still really good overall. Let's start out with the positives. First, this track looks incredible with the sunset in the background, and it drives pretty nicely as well. I love the new shortcut that was added, which allows you to glide over the main circular plaza area. The loop area near the end of the track is also pretty epic with the boost panels and various sidewalks which you can drive on. I do have some problems with this track though. While I think the track looks pretty nice overall, there are still some areas that need work. The buildings in the city section look pretty flat and the bushes look very, pointy. The track layout also isn't too interesting because it remains flat like a GBA track for the majority of the track. So yeah, while this track does have some drawbacks which limit it from being higher on the list, it is still a pretty good track that definitely deserves to be in this game. I would have preferred Airship Fortress. 7. Tour Romanti. Next up on the list is Romanti. While this is ranked lower on the list, I still do really like this track. It is still pretty good. I love the 2 plots on this track where I have to drive through the Coliseum, and I like the park section that you briefly drive through. The gliding section on lap 3 is also really neat, and I love how they brought back the rocky wrenches from Super Mario Bros. 3. I also feel like the lap changing gimmick doesn't really benefit this track too much. Most areas feel very samey, except for the parts where you drive through the Coliseum and the park. Most of it's just driving through random city sections though, which has been repeated like countless times in the Booster Course Pass. This track is definitely very faithful to its introduction and tour, and the team behind the Booster Course Pass did an excellent job bringing it over to this game. I still think that this track could use some work though. Just like Daisy Circuit, there are some textures that look pretty flat and blocky. However, the graphic issues are less noticeable when compared to Daisy Circuit. So yeah, this track is just an enjoyable experience from start to finish, and I'm glad it was brought back. 6. Rosalinas Ice World. Rosalinas Ice World. I must say, when this track was first announced in the Wave 6 trailer, I was dreading its inclusion. I absolutely hated this track on the 3DS, which is why I wasn't really too excited for its inclusion here. However, now that I've played it, it turns out this track is really solid. To start, this track looks absolutely incredible. Every texture in this track is brimming with color and life. This is definitely a standout graphically when compared to the other Booster Course Pass tracks. Not only does it look good, but this track is also very fun to drive on. The big drift point at the beginning is iconic, and I think it works really well in this game. It starts the track off with a great bit of difficulty, which I think greatly benefits this track. Next, you come up with these half-pipes that were added just for the game. I love this pair of half-pipes, and I think it greatly transitions into the underwater part of the track. After the underwater section, you drive through a fantastic-looking ice cave, which has some weirdly shaped boost panels. Like, why do they look like this? I don't know. And then the track ends with this new shortcut with a ramp. Overall, this track is just super fun to drive on and is a great improvement when compared to the 3DS and Tour versions. I do think that the theming of the track is kind of lame since it's just generic ice track. But I think it does enough to stand out when compared to the other ice tracks in the game. This track is definitely a standout in this wave. RIP Prom Plant Pipeline. 5. GCN DK Mountain. Now we're on to our first A tier track. DK Mountain is taken from Mario Kart Double Dash, and it was one of the best courses in that game. Now it's here in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's better than ever. When first starting the track, you will notice this track's biggest strong suit, the graphics. This track is absolutely stunning, and the graphics look like they belong in the base game. I think that the mountain itself looks incredible in this game. I mean, the texture work that was done here is insane. This mountain looks like it was taken out of real life. I also think that the track itself is great to drive on. I love how bumpy the mountain feels and how you can go flying down the mountain in some parts. The only thing I don't enjoy about this track is that the half-pipes feel useless. Genuinely, it feels way faster to ignore the half-pipes than to take it due to the angle that it sends you downward at. However, this is a minor complaint when compared to the entire track as a whole, since most tracks with half-pipes are mostly redundant when you just take the half-pipes. The vibrating bridge that was added was also a nice touch. Overall, this track is incredible and looks very much on par to the base game. Really glad it was added instead of Dino Dino Jungle, which is a bad track. 4. Piranha Plant Cove. Now we're on to the Tour non-city nitro that was introduced in this wave. Piranha Plant Cove is a course that takes place underwater in abandoned ruins. Now let me just say, this course is nothing short of amazing. Just like the city tracks, this course changes routes on every lap, which was an interesting idea to incorporate in a non-city track. I also like the distinct landmarks that you visit in each lap of the track. For lap 1, you drive on a deserted island and take a glide ramp off of it. For lap 2, you drive on the abandoned ruins. And for lap 3, you drive through an abandoned shipwreck and an underwater cave. Every lap does its best to remain diverse and interesting, which it definitely accomplishes. I also like the gliding section where you can glide over the whole cove. It shows how lonely you are, since there is nothing near you. It's just very interesting and very interesting graphical decision. I don't really have too much more to say about this track other than that it's one of the best tour courses in the game. 3. Tour Madrid Drive. Now we have reached our first S tier track. This may be a hot take, but Madrid Drive is the best city course in the game. The amount of locations and charm put into this track is immeasurable. Each lap feels truly unique, and the course does not suffer from feeling too samey at all. For example, on lap 1, you drive through the Prado Museum, which is accompanied by a sweet music remix to fit the theme. For lap 2, you drive through a city square, which has a wiggler in it, and you drive through a park with a really neat glider section. Lastly, for lap 3, you drive through a stadium, which is one of the coolest things in any Mario Kart track. I like the shoe Goombas, I think they're neat. Of course, the stadium also gets its own music remix, which absolutely slaps. Sure, it sounds the same as it was in Tour, however the Tour version of the song was already really great, so I don't really mind. My only complaint is the flat textures, however, that can't devaluate the absolute chadness this track has. 2. SNES Bowser Castle 3. Who would have thought that an SNES course would make it to the top 2? I should do it at first until I played this course. And it absolutely slaps! This track is so much fun and it truly earns the S tier title. I mean, just to start, just look at the graphics. The graphics are incredible. Just look at how gorgeous Bowser's Castle is. This track doesn't even feel like it's part of the Booster Course Pass. It literally fits right in with a base game retro, just like DK Mountain. That's how good it is. This track is also just fun to drive on, period. The mix of ramps, elevation, and anti-gravity gives this track a feel like no other. My favorite part of the track has to be when you have the choice to drive on the pillars of the castle. The pillars are so thin that falling off is almost inevitable. However, that's what makes it fun to attempt. You also get 2 extra item boxes for going on top, so I would say that this path is worth it. Another small detail that I like is the bone piranha plants. This may seem insignificant because they work just like normal piranha plants. However, I like the attention to details since this is the only retro Bowser's Castle track in the game. Anyway, let's move on to the number 1 spot, which I'm pretty sure you can already guess. It was pretty obvious from the very start. 1. Wii Rainbow Road. I mean, what else would it be realistically? Wii Rainbow Road is the best track in Wave 6 and is a contender for one of the best Mario Kart tracks of all time. What makes this Rainbow Road really special is the amount of obstacles it throws at you. I'm serious. This course is constantly bombarding you with elevation changes, half-pipes, and boost panels, which is why it's so much fun to race on. I also love all the Easter eggs in the course, like the Starbits from Mario Galaxy, or the Rainbow Ring when you glide through the air. The atmosphere of the course is also immaculate. This course takes place directly above the Earth's atmosphere, so the Earth is always directly in view when you fall off the course or look down. Speaking of falling off the course, they brought back the falling animation from Wii, when you basically turn into a meteor. The attention to detail makes this course truly special and a joy to race on every time. Well, that's it. That is every Wave 6 course ranked. While it is sad that the booster course pass is over, it is exciting to theorize and determine what the future will hold with Mario Kart 9. Hopefully they remake some of the banger tracks that were in Tour, but didn't make it into 8 Deluxe like Airship Borders or Plant Pipeline. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope everyone likes this new style I've been going for. I will definitely make more videos like this if this video does well. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the future.